Alright, so I have a new ship for you. This is the Thorax. I got this ship to be the DPS while the Mauler is the tank, and I did plan to have this little ship work as a mini Vigilant, and I believe that I can push some pretty good DPS out of this thing. After all, it uses blasters, and blasters are known to have the highest DPS. So let's quickly take a look at the description. So a 5% armor bonus and plus 5% medium regular damage and plus 75% medium regular tracking speed. Overall, pretty straightforward stats. 1 drone for high slots, 2 medium slots, 5 low slots, 2 combat and 2 engineering rigs. Now the Thorax is an armor tank, but in my case I use it as a shield tank. I guess in the end both do work. 2301 gigajoules is the capacitor. The recharge rate is looking to be okay, about average, and the Thorax should be fairly fast, definitely faster than the Mauler, but slower than the Stabber. And let me quickly show you the build. So I have 084.81 DPS, which is honestly okay. I use the C-type medium blasters. They have a good tracking, they have a decent activation time, and of course, as expected, they have a very short range. 1 scrambler, 1 web, 1 drone, 1 micro warp drive, damage control, large extender, and dual magnetic field stabilizers. Overall, the classic build that I run on my PvP cruisers. The power grid is almost maxed out, and as for the rigs, dual railgun burst aerators and dual ancillary power grid routers. Overall, I'm quite happy with this current build, seems to be working really well. And now let me undock and let me show you the maximum possible DPS. Now this implant that I'm currently using is the thermal circulation, and it starts working to give you DPS at above 70 heat, 70 or above heat, but you have to be careful not to let it overheat. So the high power coil might be a bit better if you like sustained DPS. However, I don't have the high power coil at the moment, and I just have to use what I have. So here you can take a look at the stats. 1.9 km per second is the micro warp drive speed. With the damage control, I have about 85,000 hit points, and of course I still can activate the large extender, which will give me about extra 50% shield. Combining that with the damage control is going to be a very nice combination. It will absorb a lot of damage. And now the DPS is 948.59. It did go up with the thermal circulation above 70, 1124.46, and
warning,
I have 1326.27 DPS, which honestly for a very cheap little ship is pretty good. And of course the DPS will go up with time. I think I don't have any good general unit for this ship at the moment. As for the nanocore, I have a cheap one, and I did go with extra regular damage, but I can also go and swap with extra speed decrease, which, you know, will make it closer as a small Vigilant. But overall, I am honestly very, very satisfied with this little ship, and let me quickly show you the market as well, because I'm fairly sure you will be interested to see how much this nanocore costs and how much this ship costs. So the nanocore is about 107 million, and you have the blue one, which is currently not available on the market, but yeah, I would say quite a expensive nanocore. The nanocore costs more than the ship itself, which is a little bit funny. And the Thorax costs about, I believe, 30 to 40 million, but we will check that out real quick. And yes, it costs 33 million on the market right now, which, you know, is fairly cheap, and you get over 1000 DPS for a 30 million ISK ship. That is pretty good. Okay, well, let's dock,
Docking request accepted.
and I'll slowly prepare to go into action with this little ship. It's also very easy on the insurance. You don't have to worry about losing it. It's ridiculously cheap, like, I don't know, 5 IP points or something. So if it ends up blowing up, it's not a big deal.
Undocking.
Okay, let's undock and let's go towards the first target. Let's see what do we have here. We have a Caracal Navy. So this is a tier 6 ship, and now I don't have to feel bad about shooting
Warp drive
other
active.
tier 6 ships because they are on an equal tier. However, I might encounter some baits along the way because tier 6 ships are also used for baits, and you never know what you get from engaging one of these ships. Okay, let me burn towards this Caracal. The Caracal seems to be using a micro warp drive, or perhaps an afterburner, but with auxiliary thrusters. Now, for some reason, my micro warp drive did not want to activate, so I lost some time here. Okay, scrambled.
We're under
The
attack.
implant is active, and I'm slowly approaching the
We're under attack.
Caracal.
Warning.
Extender
Capacitor
activated
running low.
because I start to take damage. Caracal is quickly taking range. I have to approach.
We're
I have been
being
scrambled.
scrambled.
Okay. Scrambled by the Caracal. They are in about 50% hull, and they are still in my optimal range, so
Warning. Capacitor running low.
not a big problem, and they have been destroyed. Okay,
We're
nice.
under attack.
Well, that was a nice first little kill. Let's warp out. One thing that I might change
Warp drive active.
is the overall capacitor. I don't like how quickly the capacitor runs low on this ship, so might have to change one power grid rig for a capacitor rig, but that's just maybe. Still haven't had a big problem where I couldn't turn on the extender or damage control. 145 million, not bad. I got some C-type missiles, and yeah, that was a solid first kill. Let's go to the next target. We have 3 targets, and we have 1 Thorax. Well, I guess the Thorax will be the primary one. After the Thorax, I'll just go
Warp drive
after
active.
the other 3. I kind of forgot what I scanned, so you will see when I finish with the Thorax. A Thorax versus a Thorax. Interesting. They are using railguns, long range build, so I have to quickly rush towards the Thorax in order to tackle. Okay, scrambled and webbed. Implant is on. Magnetic field stabs are on
We're
as
under
well.
attack.
Approaching at about 3 kilometers, 1 kilometer. That's well within the optimal range of the blasters.
We're under attack. We're under attack.
Okay, the Thorax has been destroyed.
We're
Let's
under
loot
attack.
the wreck and let's warp out. So I actually did think to use a passive armor tank with plates, but I did
Warp
not have
drive
enough power with,
active.
and the plates do impact the maneuverability of your ship, and I need every single, and I need all the speed that I can get out of this ship, so that's why I am using a shield extender, and so far it works quite well. Okay, let's take a look at the kill. 40 million and a cursed Thorax build. Well, let's just go to the next target then. Adjusting approach to 5 kilometers, and we have 2 targets. One Vexor and one Omen Navy, my apologies. So the primary target will be the Vexor and probably the Omen, and then after I finish with the Omen, I will go and probably kill the Vexor as well, because why not? It's actually very fun to fly this thing. And well, looks like this Omen is waiting for someone to warp in. Okay, well, I warped in. And let's engage. Webbed and scrambled. Everything is activated. Extender and damage control activated. And the Omen has been destroyed. Let's loot the wreck. Okay, looted. Let's go to the next target. The implant is still in a good shape, so it will be charged even more with the next target. This Vexor is using a long range build, and they are using a good combination of drones, so let me try and approach as quickly as possible. Well, since the implant is working at full power, the incoming damage will be significantly higher, and as you can see, the Vexor is destroyed. Let's loot the wreck and let's warp out. Let's align to the station, and we can take a look at the kills. 55 million, and again, a cursed build. Let's just ignore this for now. And well, a 14 million Vexor, again cursed, but I'm not even surprised anymore at this point. Let's go to the next target. We have a Stabber fleet, okay. Now the Stabber fleet can be fast, and it is fast.
Warp drive
This
active.
Stabber fleet is also known to be the best cruiser for PvP, because it's so cheap and it can do so much for the price, so a pretty good ship, in the right hands of course. Okay, there is the Stabber, scrambled and webbed, approaching to 4 kilometers. Now approaching to 3 kilometers. And the starter has been destroyed. Let's loot the wreck. Oh, some C-types, nice. Always nice to get some C-types.
We're under attack.
Warp drive active.
Sometimes it could even be B-types or A-types or X-types, you never know. Okay, let me align myself towards the station. Micro warp drive on. And let's take a look at the kill. 54 million. Not bad. This time did not look like a cursed build. Next target we have one Mauler. Now I have the Mauler, and I have the Mauler with a pretty good build that I really like, and the Mauler can be, and probably is, one of the tankiest cruisers in the game. Can be so ridiculously hard to kill, so when warping to a Mauler you don't really know what to expect. Okay, there is the Mauler, 31 kilometers away from me, so I should have enough speed and time to burn towards them and tackle them before they warp away. Basically I just have to burn 16 kilometers. That's about 16 seconds, so I think I should have enough time. They have been tackled. Implant is on. Full DPS is activated. Well, definitely a bit more tanky than the previous ships that I engaged today. And the Mauler has been destroyed. Let's loot the wreck. Now I initially wanted to go and engage faction cruisers with this thing, but unfortunately 99% of faction cruisers that I engaged with the Thorax solo had a lot of stabs, so unfortunately, yeah, that's what happened. The main issue with the other ships, with the faction ships, if you want to use this thing, is stabs. All of them have stabs. So I either have to use the Cinnabal or the Stratius if I want to catch them solo. But I still have a lot of fun with this thing. It's surprisingly entertaining to fly it, and this Mauler had a good build. I would say I would replace one. I would replace the heatsink for one extra adaptive, and the fight would definitely be a lot longer than it was. Okay, well, let's go to the
Undocking.
next target. Undocking to go and engage. We have a Moa. Now a Moa is basically a Cavalry Mauler. It
Warp
has a
drive
bonus on
active.
shield resistance, and in the right hands with the right build it can also be ridiculously tanky. So let's go and let's see what happens when I engage this thing. Okay, there is the Moa, about in the scrambler range. Let's quickly approach and let's quickly engage. Usually I like to charge the implant, but unfortunately in most cases I don't have
We're being warp scrambled.
the time, because
We're
in most
under
cases they
attack.
do warp out very quickly. I have been scrambled by the Moa.
Warning.
I used my
Capacitor
adaptive
running
and
low.
damage control. I used my extender and damage control, but the MOA has been destroyed. Let's loot the wreck. Looks like they also have been using blasters. And I also was
We're
being
under
shot by the
attack.
other ships from
Warp
the
drive
mission,
active.
so yeah, I had to tank all of them. And the little ship did do just fine. Okay, aligning to station, and then we can take a look at the kill. 72 million, and this ship had, well, the build could have been better. I expected something different. Let's go to the next target. We have two targets. Caracal Navy, that's going to be the primary one.
Warp drive active.
Caracal Navies can drop some very nice modules, by the way, and they can drop some C-types as well. So, always a good idea to engage them. Okay, Caracal engaged. Webbed and scrambled. Well in the optimal range. Looks like the Caracal was using rapid missiles, so okay, let's loot. And I got some very nice C-types, exactly what I need. Beautiful. Okay, and the next target, we have another Caracal. Let's quickly kill that Caracal as well.
Warp drive active.
So far, pretty good loot. And I need that loot for Isk, and I need that loot for my ships, so... always nice when I get some good stuff. And let's quickly delete this Caracal. This will be fast. My implant is fully charged now. Full DPS will be working. So this Caracal will go down much faster than the previous one.
We're under attack.
Of course, very important not to let the implant overheat, because that's bad news.
We're under attack.
And let's walk out.
Warp drive active.
Let's align towards the station. $14 million, okay. And the first one, 154 million. Some very nice loot drops. Definitely modules that I need, and yeah, this was a good catch. That was definitely a pretty good catch. And let's go to the next target. We have a Starboard fleet. Let's go towards the Starboard fleet.
Warp drive active.
Okay, it looks like this Starboard is a little bit far away, 36 kilometers. I should have enough speed to approach them on time. Not really sure what they are doing. Well, They have been in local
We're
for a very long
under
time
attack.
and could be potentially a bait, but I'm not really worried
We're
about that,
under
so
attack.
let's see what happens. Okay, engaged, webbed and scrambled.
We're under attack.
And let's prepare to warp out because there's a lot of ships shooting at me here. Let's warp out.
We're under attack.
Warp drive active.
Let's align towards the station. And let's take a look at the kill. 38 million, and looks like this was a bait. Okay, well, that's a very interesting bait build for sure. Alright, well, this was the first little Thorax PvP run that I did. Overall, I'm quite satisfied with this little ship. It is very fun to fly. It's also very cheap. If I end up losing it, I'm not going to be worried about it because, well, 5 IP, I have like 10,000 at the moment, so not a big problem if this thing blows up, but it definitely sure does deliver some pretty satisfying performance, and it's a really fun to fly ship. So with that being said, I hope that you enjoyed. I love you all, fly safe, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.